Hello and welcome back to New World. Now, I just want to show you guys today what you can get out of 200 crafting in certain trade skills. Now, I recently got 200 weaponsmithing, I also have 200 armoring, and I'm very close to 200 engineering. Now, I want to talk about pretty much most skills on the top row other than cooking, because we're not really going to take cooking into consideration here, because you can just buy food if you really need to, whereas for the other things, it's a bit harder to get hold of a really high level piece of armor or something like that. But what are you going to get if you get 200 crafting yourself in one of these skills? Now, I'm going to talk about weaponsmithing first, and this is also going to apply for armoring, engineering, and arcana. It's not going to apply for jewel crafting or furnishing, so keep that in mind. Now, each one of these skills have items that are bind on pickup, so once you craft them, you can't trade them. Now, what's good about this is these items, like this axe here, will come with a predetermined stat that is strength. It does say it's plus 24, but this will scale with gear score. I'll show an example of it. This is the Garden Keeper Great Axe. I've crafted one of them, come out at 587, and it is 29 strength. And it can go all the way up to 30 if you get 600 gear score. Now, what is so good about these is the fact that it comes with a predetermined stat. Now, of course, what that means is if I did want strength on this Great Axe, then obviously this wouldn't be great to craft. But 9 times out of 10, if you're crafting a Great Axe, you normally want strength on it. So this is going to come with strength, and I can still choose a perk of my choice. So I'm going to guarantee strength, I'm going to guarantee a perk. So the only RNG to it is the gear score roll and the last two perks. But of course, the last perk is only going to take into consideration if you get 600 gear score. So if it's below 600, your only RNG is one perk. And of course, it's still RNG. You're not always going to get the best, but it reduces it, because you guarantee in two things rather than just one. Like on a normal Orichalcum Grey Axe, if someone was to craft this for you, you choose whether you do an attribute or a perk, and then you have to roll RNG on the rest of the things. So that's one thing you are going to get out of weaponsmithing, armoring, arcana, and engineering. One thing to keep in mind though is when it comes to armoring, depending on what type of armor you're going to craft, this may not be useful to you. When you craft heavy armor, it's going to come with a stat constitution, which is great. Everyone needs constitution at the end of the day, especially if you're crafting heavy armor. But when it comes to medium and light, it's going to be a bit different. We're going to take these, for example. They're medium, but they come with strength and dexterity. And not a lot of builds are going to be using both strength and dexterity, especially on a lot of different armor pieces. And when it comes to light, for example, it's going to come with intelligence and focus, which, yeah, might be useful, but 9 times out of 10, if you're a focus build or intelligence build, you're not really stacking the other stat. A few skill points is alright, but this isn't the sort of armor you want to use Asmodeum and stuff like that in, because it's not going to be a best in slot for you anyway, even if it rolls really well. So that is something to keep in mind. But when it comes to skills like jewel crafting and furnishing, which are the other two which I said, these don't really matter too much if you don't get them, there's no really bind on pickups for these. You can get anyone to craft these for you and they can become really, really good. There's a lot of RNG in jewel crafting especially, because there's so many different perks that are good and bad on jewelry. So if you guys are looking to get 200 skills, but you want ones that benefit you directly, then the 4 I mentioned at the start, which are weaponsmithing, armoring, engineering, and arcana, are going to be good purely because of the bind on pickups. Whereas if you already have someone maybe in your company or a friend that has 200 jewel crafting, it might not really be worth you getting it, just because you can give the materials to them and they can craft it for you. Now, obviously, it would be convenient if you had it yourself, but you can always level it up later. But I just wanted to show you this quick video for you guys out there. Do I level crafting? Is it worth it? This is exactly what you can get out of doing it. So I thought I'd show you. I hope it did help you. If it did, don't forget to like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.